Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about one of the important topic in all the languages. OOPS, object-oriented programming. Okay. So whenever we start talking about the OOPS, the first thing will comes into our mind is object. So if you're talking about an object, obviously you need a class. Okay. So you'll be able to create a object if there is a class exist. Okay, let me tell you why do we need a class. Okay, so far we have seen functions. Okay, we have seen functions. Okay, so functions is contain a set of logic or something which needs to be executed repeatedly in different places, so we can put together into that method and we can execute it whenever we need it. Okay, that's pretty cool, right? So what else we can do is in a function. Okay, function can be part of a separate portion or it can be a part of a class. Okay, a class it can have multiple methods, variables, okay, and constructors as well. Okay, so first thing, why do we need a class? Why class? If you start writing a code without a class, even though the code still works, it looks not organized. If you want to have a project with proper organized, you need to have a class. Okay, for example, you have a login page and you have validation page and you have a register page. Okay, so you cannot write everything inside the same same file. So if you are not maintaining any class, what will happen? You have to write everything, well, like validations, login, and register. Everything has to be there in the same Python script. So what you can do is, in this case, what I'm gonna do is, for login, I'll create login.py, and it contains a login logic with a class, and then I can write a validation validation.py, and I can write register register.py. So each and everything has a class which holds the separate operations. Login class contains login operation like getting user informations like username and password and validate to the database and return the response back. Validation is just checking whether the user is existing or not. Register is trying to insert a new user. Okay, so it will be kind of organized. Okay, so then what will do? What the class contains? The class contains multiple things. Okay, the first thing is class methods, which is nothing but functions, and class members, which is nothing but variables, or you can simply say global. And it'll even the constructor, but we won't use the term constructor here, but let's keep it that way. Constructor, it's a method, it's a function. Okay, so what else we can have? Now, these are things pretty much we'll have it in the class file. Okay, so the class is just like a family. Okay, in a family you'll have grandparents. Under grandparents you'll have your father and mother, and and under your father kids. It's kind of hierarchy. Okay, so everything your grandfather, father, you, everything put together inside a family. So family is a class, and your parents and grandparents and you, all of them are the methods and the members of the family. Okay, so not only that, we can have something called the OOPS concepts. So when you talk about the objects, obviously we'll few things comes into our mind. What is OOPS and what are the functionalities available under OOPS? Under OOPS, we mostly cover inheritance and polymorphism. These two things we're going to cover, and few other things as well, like objects and how to call an object. Okay, and that thing. Let's see how the classes looks like. The syntax. Okay, the syntax is class and the class name. Make sure class name starts with a capital letter, not like method. Method starts with a small letter. Okay, um, test class and your colon here and enter. So whatever you're returning inside the this particular internet space, it's all belongs to the test class. Okay, so for example, I can have a variable called a, and a contains hello. That's it. This is how the class looks like. You can have the variables and methods also. Okay. So in the next video, what we'll see is how we are going to create a class and how we are creating a method inside and how we are going to call the methods using the object reference. Okay. Um, let's see each other next video. Thank you.